Explanation video number 5 of Act 2 Scene 1 of Julius Caesar. It's quite a longish scene, which is why we are doing it in several parts so that it's easy for you to understand and it doesn't overwhelm you in any way. Now we meet Portia and she immediately says, Portia, Brutus my lord, Portia, what mean you? Wherefore rise you now? Wherefore rise you now? It's not for your health thus to commit your weak condition to the raw, cold morning. Now, what is Brutus referring to? Brutus is asking Portia, why are you here and what are you doing awake at this unearthly hour? Because the sunrise hasn't happened. So what are you awake for at this point in time? It's not good for your health. It is not good for your health to commit your weak condition. So your physical condition, your ill health does not permit you, it's not good for you to be actually getting up at this unearthly hour on a raw, cold morning. So it is cold and it's not good for you to be getting up so early. Portia says, not for you either. It's not good for you either, Brutus. You have ungently, Brutus, stole from my bed, and yesterday night at supper you suddenly arose and walked about. So she says, it's not good for your health either, Brutus. In fact, you rudely snuck, ungently got out means that you kind of in a very ungentlemanly manner, you kind of got out of bed, Brutus, and last night during dinner, you suddenly got up and walked about. Why Brutus is actually disturbed? Because of what he is going to do later on the 15th of March. So we know that Portia is not aware of what her husband is up to. And in this particular scene, she's precisely wanting to know what he is up to. And walked about musing and sighing, brooding and thinking about something with your arms across. And when I asked you what the matter was, you stared upon me with ungentle looks. So she says that you suddenly got up and walked about brooding with your arms folded across your chest like that. It is considered a sign of sadness. Okay. And when I asked you what was the matter, you gave me a dirty look, an ungentle looks. And I asked you again and you scratched your head and stamped your foot impatiently. So you scratched your head and too impatiently stamped with your foot, So it shows that you are in a disturbed state of mind. You were in a disturbed state of mind when I asked you those questions. Yet I insisted, but I persisted. I wanted to know what was disturbing my husband. So I insisted, yet you answered not. Still you did not answer me. But with an angry wafter of your hand, gave sign for me to leave you. Yet I insisted, but you did not answer. Instead, with an angry wave. Wafter means with an angry wave of mind. Very dismissively, you asked me to leave. Okay, so that's what I did, and I did so because I did not want to further make you angry. So it kind of shows you the nature of the relationship between Portia and Brutus, that she is a little intimidated by Brutus. She's a little scared of Brutus, so she does not press the matter any further. So she says, she gave me sign to leave you, so I did, fearing to strengthen that impatience. I did not want to make you more angry. Fearing to strengthen that impatience means I did not want to make you more angry, which seemed too much enkindled, and withal hoping it was but an effect of humor. So she says, I did not want to make you angry, which is already inflamed. You're already angry and I did not want to make you more angry. I hoped it was just the result of a bad mood. Bad mood. Humor is mood, which sometimes can affect every man. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep. Okay, it was an effect of humor, which sometimes has this hour with every man. It will affect any person. It will not let you eat, nor talk, nor sleep, and could it work so much upon your shape as it hath much prevailed on your condition. I should not know you, Brutus. Dear my lord, make me acquainted with your cause of grief. So she's now once again broaching the topic, wanting to know what was disturbing and making her husband so anxious. So she says that it could affect your physical appearance, shape, as it has affected your mind, the condition. It would not be able to, I would not even be able to recognize you, Brutus. My dear lord, please tell me what is causing you grief. Brutus just says, I am not feeling well. That's all. I am not feeling well. Portia says, Brutus is wise, and were he not in health, he would embrace the means to combat it. So she says, are you sick? And is it unhealthy to walk around uncovered, unbraced? So there's some difference. 1 minute. Huh? Brutus is wise, and if you were feeling sick, you would better take what it needs to get better. So she says that if you were not in good health, you would actually do what it needs to be done in order to get better. Brutus says, why? So do I. Portia, go to bed. So once again, he says, he kind of is dismissive and asks her to go away. Then Portia says, is Brutus sick? Is he sick? Are you sick? And is it healthy? Is it healthy? Physical means, is it healthy? To walk unbraced, unbraced as in uncovered, while it is it healthy? This is talking about uncovered, and suck up the humerus of the dank morning, and you are kind of sucking up, breathing, sucking up the breathing, the dampness of the morning when it is humid and it is a little wet. And is it very good? Because morning is wet, you have the mist, etc. So or the dew. So is it good to kind of inhale all this? So humus, you realize, is used in different sense. Humor is referring to a bad mood. Humus is talking about breathing in the morning air. What is Brutus sick, and will he steal out of his wholesome bed to dare the wild contagion of the night? So she says that you are sick. You say you are sick, yet you will sneak out of the bed to let the humid and tempt the rheumy and the unpurged air and the wild contagion. So he is talking about all things which will make a person sick and ill. So she says dank is referring to morning. Okay, it's an adjective which has been used for the morning. So she says the dampness of the morning. So she says you are sick, yet you sneak out of the warm bed to let the humid, rheumy, and why dirty, unpurged means dirty air, make you even more sick, right? So the reference to the wild contagion of the night is to the night air, which is meant to be unhealthy. Okay, this is referring to the night air, which is meant to be unhealthy. And the interesting part is that, the ironic part is that Portia does not know, but the audience knows that the conspiracy has been hatched in the night. So the audience is a little more aware than Portia is, and that's what makes this particular passage a little ironic, that the conspiracy has been hatched in the night, and she's referring to the wild contagion of the night. So she says, no, my Brutus, you have some sick offense within your mind, which by the right and virtue of my place I ought to know of. So she says that there is some sickness within your mind. So she's able to kind of, get a sense that something is wrong. She's not able to put her finger on it, but she knows something is wrong with her husband. Something is definitely troubling him, right? So she says, you have some sickness within your mind, something is troubling you, which by virtue of my position as your wife, right, and virtue of my place, I deserve to know about. It is my right to know what is troubling you. And then she says, on my knees, upon my knees, I charm you, I plead with you by my once commended beauty, that at one time you used to praise my beauty, by all your vows of love, and that great vow which did incorporate and make us one. We got married, the vows of marriage by which you said that you love me, and we got married. I'm kind of, it's almost like in Hindi mein bolte hain na, us cheez ka main wasta deti hu, right? It sounds like a cheesy dialogue. That I kind of remind you of all the vows of sacred marriage that we did, sacred vows of marriage, that you need to tell me what is really troubling you. Okay. That you should reveal to me who is one half of yourself, right? This seems to be, in fact, even in Merchant of Venice, there's a similar dialogue, right? Which is also incidentally said by Portia in Merchant of Venice. ऐसा लग रहा है वहां से निकाल के यहाँ पे डाल दिया, right? Yourself, your half, why you are heavy. There also Portia says, I'm one half of you. So she says that you unfold to me yourself, your half, why you are heavy, and what men tonight have had to resort to you, for here have been some 6 or 7 who did hide their faces even from darkness. So she has seen them. So she says that there have been some men who have visited you tonight, and there were some 6 or 7 men who had hid their faces even in the darkness. Who hides a face in the dark? But these were 6 to 7 men who had hid their faces even in darkness. So she always gives her an idea that something is amiss, something is going to go wrong, and something is troubling Brutus. So Brutus says, do not kneel, gentle Portia, don't bend down, don't kneel. Portia says, I should not kneel if you were gentle, Brutus. Within the bond of marriage, if you were gentle, I would not have had to kneel before you. But you are making me do that. Within the bond of marriage, tell me, Brutus, is it expected I should know no secrets that pertain to you? So she says, is it fair? Doesn't the bond of marriage mean that I should be aware of every secret that concerns you, right? Am I part of you only in a limited sense? Am I yourself, but as it were, in a sort of limitation that it's a very limited kind of a relationship, or is it complete and wholesome? To keep with you at meals, comfort your bed, and talk to you sometimes. So she says, am I there only in a limited sense, in the sense that, to eat with you at dinner, or to sleep with you, or to talk to you sometimes? Or is it a much more of a complete relationship in marriage? Dwell I but in the suburbs of your good pleasure, if it be no more. Portia is Brutus's harlot, not his wife. So she says, do I exist for you only in the outskirts, not in a wholesome sense, but only in some parts, in a limited sense? If that is the case, then I am your whore, a prostitute, not your wife. So she's kind of trying to incite him, trying to insult herself in order to make him reveal what is troubling him. Okay, now the suburbs reference is because the suburbs in London at that time when Shakespeare was writing were known for prostitution. So that's the reference to the whore, harlot. Harlot means a prostitute, a whore. Brutus says, which is not a very good word to use, let me tell you that. You are my true and honorable wife, as dear to me as are the ruddy drops that visit my sad heart. Now Brutus says, you are my true and honorable wife, as precious to me as the blood. Ruddy drops is a reference to blood that runs through my sad heart, right? To my sad heart. So he's now revealing here that he's indeed sad. He's not entirely happy at this point in time. So, if it were true, then should I know this secret? I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman that Lord Brutus took to wife. I grant I am a woman, but withal a woman well reputed, Cato's daughter. Think you I am no stronger than my sex? So she says, if it were true, I should know you. I would know your secret. Okay, if it was indeed true that I am precious to you as the blood that runs through your heart, if that were true, I would indeed know your secret by now. I admit I am only a woman. So she's trying to, again, a reflection of the status of women during the times that William Shakespeare wrote in. I admit I'm only a woman, but I'm still a woman that Lord Brutus, that is you, took as his wife. So she's trying to praise him in some way and and talk about the beauty of the relationship. I admit I'm just a woman, but even so, I am a woman with a noble reputation and also the daughter of Cato. Cato was a Roman statesman. Do you think I'm no stronger than the rest of my gender? Okay. Do you think I'm no stronger than the rest of my gender, having such a father and such a husband? I'm Cato's daughter and Brutus's wife, and do you think I'm so weak? So it is ironic here. It's ironic here that she uses the examples of men to prove that she's a strong woman. There's an element of irony. So she says, tell me your secrets. You need to tell me your secrets. Counsels, what is troubling your secrets. I will not disclose them to anyone. I have made strong proof of my constancy. That is, I have proved my trustworthiness by giving myself a voluntary wound in my thigh. I've given myself a wound voluntarily in my thigh, and that's proof of my, the fact that I am trustworthy. Here in the thigh, can I bear that with patience and not in my husband's? So can I bear that pain and not be able to bear my husband's secrets? When I can bear that pain, can't I bear the secrets that my husband will tell me? Brutus says, oh God, make me worthy of this noble wife. She's so worthy, that I should be worthy, that I should have such a wife. Render me worthy of this noble wife. And then they hear a knocking. Hark, hark, one knocks. Portia, go inside a while, and by thy bosom that partake the secrets of my heart. And once is gone, I shall very soon tell you the secrets of my heart. I will explain to you all my plans, all my engagements. I will construe to thee. I will reveal to you all the character of my sad brows. Leave me with haste. So he says that all the reasons for my sad temperament, demeanor, face right now, I will tell you. Leave me quickly, and Portia exits. Okay. At that point in time, Lucius enters with Ligarius. Okay. So Lucius says he is a sick man who wishes to speak to you. Brutus says, Ligarius, that Metellus spoke of, boy, stand aside. Ligarius, how? Ligarius says, vouchsafe good morrow from a feeble tongue. So Ligarius says, please accept my feeble good morning because he is not very well. Brutus says, what a time have you chosen out, brave Caius, Ligarius, to wear a kerchief, would you were not sick. So he says, what a time you have chosen to fall sick. That is, using a handkerchief, so probably suffering from a common cold. I wish you were not sick. Ligarius, he says, I am not sick, Brutus. If you have something for me to do, something that is worthy of being called honorable, right? So if there is something, in that case, I am not sick, Such an exploit have I in hand, Ligarius. Had you a healthful ear to hear of it. So he says, I have such an exploit for you, such a big exploit for you. If you were feeling well to hear about it, if you think you are feeling well to hear it, I will reveal to you what I have in mind. So Ligarius says, by all the gods that Romans bow before, I here discard my sickness. So he says, by all the gods that the Romans worship, I hereby say I am not sick. I throw away my sickness, right? Soul of Rome. Okay, brave son, derived from honorable loins, thou like an exorcist hath conjured up my mortified spirit. Now bid me run, and I will strive with things impossible. Yea, get the better of them, what is to do. So he says that honorable ancestors, that is honorable loins, referring to ancestors, you are like an exorcist. Exorcist is someone who frees people from the evil spirits. भूत प्रेत को करने के लिए कुछ लोग तंत्र मंत्र वाले होते हैं ना, उनको exorcist कहते हैं, right? So who frees people from evil spirits. You have raised my dead spirit. Okay, mortified spirit, you have raised my dead spirit. Now tell me what is to be done, and I will tackle the most impossible thing, and I will succeed in it as well. Get the better of them. Okay, so he says it is a deed that will make the sick men healthy. Okay, a piece of work that will make the sick men whole. Please mark this particular phrase. You can use it as a key phrase because that's how he describes. Brutus at this stage is describing the possible assassination of Julius Caesar, that it is a piece of work that will make the sick men whole. That is, it will make the sick men feel healthy. It's an important key phrase. Please mark it. Ligarius says, but are not some whole that we must make sick? So Ligarius says, but aren't there some healthy people who we must make sick? So he's kind of talking in riddles and talking indirectly about Julius Caesar. Brutus, that we must also. What is it, my case? I shall unfold to thee as we are going to whom it must be done. So he says we must do that also. I'll explain what we have to do as we walk towards the man to whom we must do. As we walk towards the capital where we are going to meet Caesar, who we plan to assassinate. He's not revealing it yet. I will explain to you what is there in my mind, what is the entire plot. So Ligarius says, start walking, set on your foot, and with a heart new fired, I follow you. To do I know not what, but it sufficeth that Brutus leads me on. So he says, I don't know what I'm going to do. I do not know what I'm expected to do. I do not know what you're going to make me do, but it is good for me, but it suffices. For me, it's enough to know that Brutus is the man who is actually leading me. For me, that is there, and I will follow you with a heart filled with energy, new fired heart, which is full of vigor and energy. I will follow you, even though it does not matter. I don't know what I'm supposed to do, except for the fact that Brutus is leading me. Brutus says, follow me then. And that's how Act 2, Scene 1 ends. Okay? Act 2, Scene 1 ends. I'll now meet you in Act 2, Scene 2. Act 2, Scene 1 is an important scene, and I hope you have understood it completely in these 5 explanation videos. Please look at the notes. Please look at the question and answers that will follow. Please look at the MCQs, solve them, And I hope any doubts at any time, please feel free to ask. I'm always there to take care of them. Okay, Tata, bye bye.